On this week's Asians in Art, we go into the world of chocolate through Filipino-American chef Daniel Corpuz. Daniel trained at the Culinary Institute of America and cut his teeth in Michelin-starred New York kitchens such as the Modern. Trained as a pastry chef, he turned to chocolate during COVID, discovering his creative direction by infusing bonbons with Asian flavors. His popular Instagram posts caught the eyes of Netflix, and he was the youngest and the first Filipino-American on the School of Chocolate. Now creative director and chocolatier of the Chocolate Lab at ICE, Daniel invited us to see his craft up close at his New York store. He also took us to a cacao farm in Bali, Indonesia, part of his firm commitment to sourcing ethically grown cacao.
All right, so let's go through it.
All right, so this is the main work table. It is crazy to say that every bonbon is produced literally
it's
here.
So small. How many do you make per day?
So per day, depending of course on the season, if you look right here, I kind of have a stack of my bus tubs right now. Each tub has about 20 molds per. So right now we have 80 molds practically ready to be filled with chocolate. So 32 pieces times 80, that's already about near 2,500 pieces. This machine is the lifeblood of this business. This is the tempering machine. So if you can imagine, before this, I would actually have to hand temper each batch of chocolate to then utilize for the bonbons.
What does hand temper mean?
Yeah, so tempering is the process of raising and lowering the temperature of chocolate to promote the formation of Form 5 crystals.
Show us how you create.
So this is our already painted bonbons, so they're ready to be filled with chocolate. Press the pedal
Cuts
underneath,
the flow, yeah.
and then I will just move the chocolate where it needs to go. In my right hand is a scraper,
Yep.
for which I will then guide the chocolate where it needs to go.
So to level that part.
Yeah. Kind of just making sure that there's chocolate everywhere, okay? Like clean the sides, which are good habits. I normally put the vibrating table on, so it is gonna get a bit loud, for which then all the air bubbles will come out. And once I see all the air bubbles primarily disappear, I will then flip right onto these rungs. These rungs are heated, so it allows the chocolate to, again, gradually melt so it doesn't go too far, or solidify too quickly. And then from there, once I feel that most of the chocolate is gone, I will then scrape away.
Oh, I see. So that's kind of the chocolate coating in the inner shell.
Yeah, so this process is normally referred to as shelling, because we are producing the shell.
Right.
In about 2 to 3 minutes, you'll actually go from this like really glossy, like wet looking chocolate to a more matte design. Usually in like how we normally would do this, we would spray all of our molds, and then practically for hours, perhaps, I will be on this machine shelling our molds. And then once all the shells are done, we would normally then, near the end of the day, maybe around like 5 o'clock, at that point, myself with my chocolatier or just by myself or herself, the filling will be made, and then we will fill all of our bonbons, for which it actually stays at room temperature overnight, so that we go back onto this machine the next day, which I will show you to cap, which is the final layer.
Oh, okay.
Most pastry chefs, we say that we are all cut from the same cloth, because you might think we are so energetically extroverted, especially when we're talking about our craft or our passion. But then sans that, it kind of is this kind of like, ooh, we are a bit more sheltered, quiet, reserved, and it's only through our medium do we kind of like, you know, flourish and become more crazy.
Yes.
We now have bonbons that are actually filled. This is our black sesame bonbon that we worked on yesterday. Most people think that we normally spray, paint, shell, fill, and cap all in the same day, but it's actually a staggered type of day. All right, so already decorated, already contracted.
Beautiful.
It is a very quick process as well. Literally, I just slam down.
Really?
Yep. And then usually if I need a little help, I'll use like the end of a rubber spatula just to tap it out, make sure that it's fully out. There are a couple stragglers, so before we... There we are.
Oh, beautiful. And this is the black sesame
Yes.
bonbon.
Yeah, the black sesame, this is one of those bonbons that have stayed the same design since 2020. This and the sea salt caramel are the two. This was inspired by a painting in my hotel in Beijing. So I went to Beijing in 2019, and you're in this huge hotel, right? And in the lobby is this huge mural on the wall, individually nailed nails at different depths. So up close, you're like, okay, it's a nail. But you step back, it reveals a landscape painting. Almost, it's crazy. And everyone's so fixated on this mural that you miss out on all the smaller pieces of art in the lobby. And this was one of them. We primarily buy our chocolate from a company called Valrhona, for which they are able to kind of like source beans, create chocolate from everywhere. Lovely breakfast.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
So that is that. But I think especially in more kind of like contemporary versions of this business, I've been choosing to source chocolate from around the world.
Yeah.
For example, this is a different company called Oro. They're based in the Philippines, but their beans are all from Davao. Davao is southern Philippines. Those are the farms I've primarily visited, spoken to farmers, and learned about kind of agricultural practices as well as fermentation processes. This is our oolong chocolate from Fuan. It's nothing flashy. It looks bloomed, by the way. This is how chocolate looks like when over time it comes out of temper. So it is no longer shiny. It looks diseased, but the only way to kind of like fix it is to remelt and retemper. When it comes to choosing Southeast Asia for cacao, it's primarily because, especially in school or even with other colleagues, so much of the focus of chocolate is from Africa and South America. Nothing wrong with that. 70% of the world's cacao comes from Africa, whereas 15 to 20 is from South America. And it's a small amount coming out of Southeast Asia, but nobody knows. Despite, let's say, the Philippines being introduced to cacao in the 16th century, that industry hasn't flourished as quickly or as largely as Africa and South America. And with so many people already focused on those regions, as somebody who is Asian American, why not focus on, the motherland in a way, right? In doing so, in the small part that we play by introducing this chocolate in our bonbons, I'm able to then showcase to our guests, our customers, like, hey, this is an industry worth investing in. And at least for myself, I feel more kind of like empowered and passionate about knowing specifically that I met the farmer that grew this chocolate and we had tea. I met those farmers and we had dinner at a local restaurant and so on and so on. And it is more heartening because most people, you don't have to, right? I could just choose to buy XYZ chocolate at the price of XYZ, considering that this is definitely more of an arduous process to source and sometimes more expensive. But it adds to the storytelling that, when a guest comes in and they see the oolong tea, I can be like, yeah, we're using tea from Taiwan and we're using chocolate from Taiwan. When it comes to the state of the industry, it is not in a bubble, if you will, but it is. I say that because, especially the last couple of years, the cost of cacao has risen, for which the price spike has been exorbitant, right? So farmers, especially in 2020, when cacao was being sold at $2 a kilo for dried beans, it was kind of bleak at 2020 for many of us. In 2024, when the cost of cacao rose to near $20 a kilo for dried beans, farmers were kind of excited. They're like, oh my gosh, this crop that we now have spent time to grow is now yielding us almost tenfold. However, fast forward to now, with kind of the state of everything, the cost of cacao has gone down again to near $2 a kilo for dried beans, bringing us back to that bleakness of 2020 for most of these farmers. And the reason why I say it is and isn't a bubble is that you have one region that might be saying that, but say for example, I met farmers in Bali. They're actually on kind of the upward trajectory of we actually have more people interested in cacao and cocoa growing, which is kind of paradoxical considering you have people who are kind of thinking about cutting their trees at the moment because of that price disparity. So I think Asia is this kind of microcosm of the macro, because of course you have farmers, let's say in Africa, who are oh, we're gonna forge ahead because we know that we're gonna make money. But then you have maybe smaller producers or smaller players in South America who are also we might be cutting our trees, and so on and so on.
How would you rate the quality of cacao in Asia versus other parts of the world? And does it really make a difference in taste?
So in terms of taste, yes. Like wine, like coffee, terroir plays such a big role in cacao, where something grows affects how it tastes. So the idea of cacao from Southeast Asia is definitely a bit more roasty, a bit earthier, but I think with better fermentation practices, you're getting more of the fine cacao and more of the fruity notes that most kind of like of the bourgeois of this industry are looking for, which is why you have like Fuwan, going back to this chocolate, they're like multi-gold winning, chocolates.
What is the difference that you ate?
Flavor-wise, this one's a bit more sour.
More sour.
Acid. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like fruitier. The bigger ones from the Philippines, it's still sour, but not as tart.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. This one
Khusus Bali.
has more of a flesh for me.
Hah? Perbedaan.
I don't even think there's a bean in here. Yeah, it's all flesh.
Ketchup.
It's kind of was that quality people have been able to connect it better.
Yeah.
It's chocolate they're still the widest out to them. You guys don't transport water up. It's whatever is already in here.
That's a really long meal. You just put the pipe and then we go all the way outside.
So then, okay, let's say for harvest day, how long do they spend out here in the farm?
On Sunday, they crack the pot. Whole day, they crack a pot. And then the fresh, in Monday, we pick up the product.
Yeah. So then you're harvesting the rest of the week.
Yes.
So what is that? Tuesday until Saturday,
Yes,
you're just harvesting.
Yes.
Do you guys know durian cacao or no?
Durian have?
No, but durian cacao.
Oh, no. Durian cacao nggak ada ya? We don't
Here.
have.
It's a hybrid. It looks like that. The shell is very thick.
Kulitnya tipis.
So similar.
Oh, this one's purple.
No, it tastes like cashews. And then maybe a bit far, so you see that there's tree. Ready?
Video or
Picture.
picture?
I know why I enjoy these trips. They're just so outside the norm of what I do day to day. Me going out here, sharing the same passion with our consumers and anyone who comes in. It's at least one connecting point that is lost already. Thank you.